It's Dan Wickware, and in this session we'll take a look at question number 191 in the book 200 Questions About the Bible and the Qur'an. So, here's the question. Did God institute the Passover feast to commemorate the firstborn of Israel being saved as the death angel passed over them during the last of the 10 plagues which God sent upon Egypt? Yes, according to the Bible, but no, according to the Qur'an. Now, the Passover feast is called the Pesach. This is a major Jewish holiday celebrating the story of the Exodus, where God freed the Israelites from slavery in Egypt, marking their birth as a nation. And this is an annual celebration. God commanded them to observe this in Exodus chapter 12. God commanded them to celebrate this as a feast, as an everlasting ordinance. And so Jews do this as an annual reenactment, and they have a seder, which is like a meal. And so I'm going to read out of Exodus chapter 12, where it talks about the death angel passing through the land. Exodus 12, verses 12, 14, and 24 is what I'm reading. For I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night. I will strike all the firstborn of the land of Egypt. Verse 14, so this day shall be to you a memorial, and you shall keep it as a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. You shall keep it as a feast by an everlasting ordinance. 24, and you shall observe this thing as an ordinance for you and your sons forever. So this Passover feast, this annual commemoration of the Pesach, the Passover feast, Jesus observed this. It was instituted in the Old Testament. The Jews carried this tradition on, and Jesus observed it in Matthew 26, 17 to 18. It says, now on the first day of the feast of the unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying to him, where do you want us to prepare for you to eat the Passover? And he said, go into the city to a certain man and say to him, the teacher says, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples. So Jesus observed this, and it's an everlasting ordinance, something that the Jews are supposed to continually do, and they do it. Now, when we look at the Qur'an, let me just tell you, back up a bit. The death angel, what God commanded the Jews to do was to put blood on the top, left, and right-hand side of their doorposts, because God was going to send a death angel, and they call this death angel Azrael, or in Arabic it's called Malak al-Maut, and this death angel was going to kill the firstborn of all the children in the land unless the blood was on the top, left, and right-hand side of the doorposts of the houses. If the blood wasn't there, the death angel would go in and kill the firstborn. So this happened during the Exodus. This is when the children of Israel were leaving Israel. This is what happened, and this is like the final. This is the final of 10 plagues that were put upon the land of Egypt. And so, if we look at the Qur'an, we'll see a little bit different storyline. For example, in Isra 17:101, and assuredly we gave Moses 9 clear signs. Then Pharaoh said to him, I consider, O Moses, that you are bewitched. Notice here that instead of 10 plagues, the Qur'an only mentions 9. And so there's a difference there. And Neml 27:12. This will be one among 9 tokens unto Pharaoh and his people. But when our signs came to them, plain to see, they said, this is mere magic. So again, twice in the Qur'an it says there were 9 signs or 9 tokens, whereas in the Bible there were 10 plagues that happened. Now the Passover, or the 10th plague, with the death angel, with the death of the firstborn, is not mentioned in the Qur'an. This is an omission in the Qur'an. There are only 9 plagues of Moses mentioned in the Quran. The Bible in Exodus 7:14 to 12:36 describes 10 plagues. I'll list what these are for you. Number 1, waters turn to blood. 2, frogs. 3, gnats. 4, flies. 5, livestock stricken. 6, boils. 7, hail and fire. 8, locusts. 9, darkness. And 10, the death of the firstborn. So now I'm going to mention the 9 events that are mentioned in the Quran. However, 5 of these that are mentioned are utterly different from what's in the Bible. For example, number 1, the rod becomes a serpent in 7:101. 2, the radiant hand in 7:108. Number 3, years of drought, 7:130. And number 4, short crops, 7:130. And number 5, the flood, 7:133. These 5 things are not in the Bible. These are different. So the Quran gets only 9 mentioned, and 5 of them are totally different from what's in the Bible. Then 6, the locust, 7:133. Number 7, lice or vermin, 7:133. The frogs, 7:133. And the blood, 7:133. So the last 4 they got right, but the first 5 were totally different or not there, not in the Bible. So this passing over, it commemorates the first plague where the death angel, Azrael, passed over the homes marked with blood of a lamb, sparing the firstborn of Israel. And so this is an annual reenactment, and they have a meal called the Seder meal to commemorate this. So they're commemorating 430 years of bondage in Egypt. They're being liberated from that bondage. And so many Christians view this Passover as a foreshadowing of Jesus Christ, who is considered the Passover lamb, whose sacrifice provides salvation from sin. So it's a very important feast for the Jews, but it also has significance for Christians as well. So the question is this: did God institute the Passover feast to commemorate the firstborn of Israel being saved as the death angel passed over them during the last of the 10 plagues which God sent upon Egypt? Yes, in the Bible, but no, in the Quran.